Hey everybody, welcome to the middle of Q3 in 2025. That is so scary to say, but we're in August, almost the 15th, and we are talking about lots of new fun things. And surprise, surprise, there's more AI news. So much AI news that since the last time we met, I think it was just a couple of weeks ago, there have been 2 or 3 major updates in the AI world that I'd love to share. And from the king royalty of AI itself, OpenAI and ChatGPT, they introduced an amazing tool called ChatGPT Agent. And the agent is incredible. So if you don't know what agents are, AI is just kind of the tip of the iceberg. AI has been around for, I don't know, 20 years or so. Chat using AI surprised everybody. I read this amazing article that the smartest people in AI were all like, we didn't think predictive text in chat would be the most utilized way to use AI. They're all thinking like algorithms and large learning models for data, etc. But the best way was predict the next letter or the next word that's going to come up in a sentence. That was the best way to output all of the data that they have, or utilize all the data they have, which is pretty incredible. Anyway, so the next level of that, so chat has always been, that's kind of where most people use AI. They're chatting with ChatGPT and they ask questions and things like that. ChatGPT has had, I believe it was called Operator. You can do like reminders and it'll kind of work within its own system, and you can plug ChatGPT into tools like Google Gmail or Google Sheets or things like that, and it'll kind of analyze things for you. But agents are the next level of AI. We've talked about this in the past. The agentic revolution in AI is incredible because agents are actually utilizing AI. It kind of comes out of the chat window and it starts to behave and act in a way an executive assistant would, or it was until recently, because AI has now broken the executive assistant realm and now it's in the PhD level. And so we'll get to that in a minute, but agents, you can start to have agents start to review emails, start to search things for you online, start to do the granular research, start to fill out forms for you. It doesn't log into stuff automatically, and you actually have to sit and watch AI doing it. For the most part, you have to leave it on at least. And so, it does take a little bit of time. Certainly a lot of AI tokens that you have to use for all the agentic work, but it is incredible, and you should absolutely be playing around with it. If nothing else, just looking for the best deals on your next flights, your next trips. Just looking at this incredible animation that was going on. So they released this. When was it? July 17th. Not too long ago. Long enough ago where we didn't talk about this yet. And in the meantime, in the last week or two, we received ChatGPT 5, which is the fastest, smartest, most useful model, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, every model is that. But the incredible thing that they did with ChatGPT 5 is got rid of all of the different versions of ChatGPT. So if you ever use ChatGPT, you got 04, 4.0, and 4.5, and 4.0 mini, and all of this stuff. So, and those are all different, useful for different reasons. And ChatGPT 5 was supposed to miraculously kind of bring them all together and be this single tool that'll just know when to use the right model and use the right backend. It also, the intelligence level of ChatGPT 5 is now at PhD level. So where ChatGPT 4 was kind of like, it definitely makes some mistakes here and there. It can code at a PhD level. It can do math and analysis at a PhD level. It can write entire applications. I mean, there's an amazing amount of stuff. So in every category, every realm, ChatGPT 5 is slowly taking over everything. Lo and behold, though, this is a great article. When they rolled out, they just got rid of all the other versions, and that really upset a lot of people because ChatGPT 4, I mean, it's so integrated into the workflow that people were just flabbergasted that a company as big as OpenAI would just get rid of, this tool with no warning, no email out to the user base saying, hey, just to let you know, all of your existing flows in ChatGPT 4 are going away, and we're going to replace it with a single ChatGPT 5. And that lasted for about 3 days because when they rolled it out, there was an uproar on Reddit and lots of other places where people wanted to, basically were asking for more versions of ChatGPT 5. So we just saw, even on OpenAI's current ChatGPT 5 page, you can see one of the biggest selling points is combining the model into this kind of single model. And if you use ChatGPT today, you'll see that there's 3 different versions now. There's regular, and then thinking, which is like, if you want to do coding or big analysis and stuff, and then auto. So there's 3, which is simplified in my opinion, and it makes a lot more sense. It's a lot more clear than it was before, but hilarious to see OpenAI just like figuring it out like the rest of us, making mistakes and bothering all the nerds out there in the internets. All right. Other cool AI stuff. We saw this. Amazon was funding this AI startup called Fable, and they have a tool. Fable has a tool called Showrunner, which is a tool that creates shows dynamically for you. So you can upload a story, and it'll create the characters, it'll create the dialogue, and it'll create the show that you can watch, which is pretty incredible. This is next gen, wild time to be alive. If you don't like the ending to a show, you can literally put that show's theme into Showrunner and then change the ending and then create your own version and have the satisfaction of your story version being online and being able to watch it. So you can make a scene, you can make an entire show, I think, if you wanted to. It is pretty interesting, and I think it's fascinating that Amazon has invested in this. Oh, and by the way, characters look strangely like South Park characters, right? They look very, South Park-esque. Maybe that's one of their. South Park is just very. Or is this Family Guy? It's more like Family Guy than it is South Park. Maybe the cross between the two, South Park and Family Guy. But it's I think it's an easy way to animate characters in that style, but you can certainly use any style, and AI would just run it. Wild stuff. In social media news, we've got Emma Chamberlain. Do you know who Emma Chamberlain is? Austin, you're younger than I am. Andre, I don't know if you're younger than I am, but maybe you do, maybe you don't. There's an influencer out there. Austin, do you know?
I have heard the name.
Okay. But she's famous people now. There are many famous people who I don't know are famous because they are famous in a corner of the web that I don't hang out in. So this is news, though, that there is an old-fashioned company who is partnering with Emma Chamberlain. I think they were always called Chamberlain Coffee, but Emma Chamberlain, because they share a name, they're doing this collaboration where she's becoming the spokesperson for Chamberlain Coffee. Great. Good for her. I'm showing this to small businesses because one thing that we talked about a lot is you need more impactful ambassadors and influencers. This is always the case. Your audience is severely underutilized for you doing this. This is true for us. This is true for most small businesses. If you can find your raving fans out there in your own audience, there's bound to be somebody who is willing to become the champion for you if incentivized correctly. So it might be dollars, it might be a little bit of fame, it might be behind the scenes access. So being able to create kind of a VIP experience or an ambassador level experience for some of your audience out there, powerful way that you can create a campaign. If you want to know more information about that, you can certainly let us know at Figments, and we're happy to help you put that together. Reddit forecasts strong revenue. I am absolutely betting on Reddit to be more and more impactful, especially as the AI revolution continues. It's always been, in my opinion, maybe the nerdiest social media platform. It is basically an old school forum that has been reimagined as kind of the up-to-date live encyclopedia of all things, or live commentary of all things. And so there are subreddits for every category that you can possibly imagine, from fixing things to parent stuff, to agency stuff, to technology stuff, to adult stuff, to, I mean, there's just a massive amount of content on Reddit. And fascinatingly, Reddit has been one of the main social media and one of the main feeders for AI learning. So these LLMs are learning from Reddit's massive amount of content. And they've just released a new AI ad strengthening, ad management platform within Reddit, which I think is helping it grow its audience. It's helping the right sort of ads come through. If you ever use Reddit, the advertising was always like very, very bland. And so, yeah, shares are surging and the value of Reddit is increasing because I think there is an improved way to get to, what's the right word? Tap into the attention that is already on the platform, if that makes sense. So let's not sleep on Reddit as a place to potentially look for great feedback. We used to use Twitter because they had a great polling system. Andre, for our bento tests, I think this is great to utilize Reddit, maybe even for mock ads for testing stuff. So yeah, definitely keep your eye on Reddit. Buy like one share of Reddit, and then like let's talk in 3 years, 5 years, and maybe you'll buy me like a car because you've made so much money. All right, next up. More AI things. I haven't read this article, but it sounds like Vogue is getting into trouble because they've created an AI model. Yeah, it is certainly the number one magazine in the world, and they are utilizing AI models within the magazine, which certainly is causing an uproar with their deep relationships with modeling agencies and with real people. Surprise, surprise. But this is, the models don't cost as much as real people, and they take direction better, and they were able to generate images fairly quickly. We can turn them around almost instantly. So the fact that they trialed this and didn't make a big stink about it, but somebody caught it right away, probably was an inside job, letting somebody know. And not a surprise here, but it's coming for us. And this person doesn't look like an AI image, does she? Like, she looks like a pretty normal Vogue magazine model. Maybe even like a little dated, to be honest. But anyway, so last thing that I wanted to share with you, pumpkin spice marketing campaigns, because August means it's almost fall. I hate saying that because I like to always think there's plenty of summer left. We thrive on the summer here in New England, and yeah, it's just beautifully summer right now. So I don't like thinking about fall, but as marketers, we must think about the next season, the next 2 seasons coming up. So I always like to joke with the team that it's almost Christmas, and when it is middle of August, it does feel like it's almost Christmas because we are, again, the very middle of Q3. And we should absolutely be planning for these following things, these following campaigns within your organization. Back to school, you should already have that. We talked about that last month. We should be thinking about fall. Can we create a pumpkin spice something that we can just tap into the glorious wave of push that's going to pumpkin spice? I feel like the new pumpkin spice is hot honey, by the way. That's like the basic flavor of the month, or flavor of the season. And then you also have, so coming up very soon, you have Halloween, you have Thanksgiving, you have the shopping season, you have end of year giving. This is the time to think about those things. Corporate gifts. I mean, all of those, there's a lot of activity that happens on the marketing side and the communication side of things for both businesses and nonprofits. You should absolutely be thinking about those. If you have not started any of those campaigns, you must start now, because you don't want to turn around at the beginning of November and then try to throw together a end of year campaign. It's just not good. It's not going to be good for anybody. So you should be thinking about, hey, what kind of relationships can I build? How can I get the conversation started? How can I get these gears turning so that we can start to roll this out and make it as impactful as possible? That is it. That is my my plea for you is the fall and winter are certainly busy times. This is the time to get started, or at least think about it. Start to delegate those responsibilities. Of course, let us know if we can help in any way. Thanks for joining in. Looking forward to diving into more stuff very soon. And yeah, lots of really exciting updates on the Alchemy side of things. So hopefully we get some Mastermind programming going, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So looking forward to that in the fall as well. We're moving our Mastermind times a little bit up. So just keep an eye on those. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.